Okay, so welcome everyone to the weekly recovery coaching call. My name is Omar Pinto, my co-host Tori Skeen, and I'd love to just kind of start today off with, temperature taker to see how Leo is doing as he gets ready for his new commitment, his new position. How are you feeling, Leo?
Well, in one of the webinars I was on today, they always do a check. Are you red? Are you green? Are you yellow? I'm kind of a good green, but it's slipping into red a little bit, and I'm embarking on a pretty cool, important journey in my life in a couple of weeks. Ton of responsibility, and I'm going to be really good at it, but there's just part of you're going to mess up. Says is there, and I'm going to miss a lot of people here. I've said in the past, Jesus, I didn't think I'd be crying, but you got me crying already. I said in the past, there's so much work to do. There's so much work to do. And I'm going to be doing that work with people that need it the most. That I work in a recovery home for you folks that don't know me, an addiction recovery home. And it's going to be mostly men. I don't deal with the women very much unless they're in trouble, but mostly with men, young, old like me, that are just absolutely in the throes of the disease. They're walking in right fresh from detox, right into the program. And I know a lot of them, This is what's going to bother me too. I know a lot of them from the past, and it's really part of my strength is my ability to be honest with people and to love them in these rooms, because I know your pain, And even here, I'm close to people here, and I'm gonna miss you, and I don't want to get close to those people because they OD and they die. And I know it's not my fault. You ain't gonna keep me sober. I can't keep you sober. I know all that. Still, it hurts though. I just wanna you get this close, and that's it. But that stops me from being an effective, not just a good coach, an effective, recovery person. It stops me, and I have that. And not just that, I've got the doubt. You're a piece of shit. You're useless. What are you doing for? You're swinging way over your head. You're just going to fail. That had been really quiet for a long time, but it's starting to pop up a little bit. And I got an appointment with my therapist tomorrow, thank God. Because, I'm thinking to myself, holy crow, you people are counting on me to help you stay sober. What the hell is that? What's wrong with you, So that's it. That's it, Omar. You got me crying my eyes. That's it. That's what I got for you, sir.
Thank goodness I asked. Okay, Tori, we got to get Leo ready for this. We got to get Leo ready. Okay. So Leo, there's a facet of you. There's the child that lives within you that wants to be seen. He wants to be acknowledged. And this is the only way he can get your attention, is to remind you that you're going to mess up, that you're a piece of shit, that you're going to fail. He loves you. He loves you. He's connecting with you with language that you understand. But he wants to use different language. He really does. And he wants to get you ready for this new position, not from a place of fear or from a place of angst, but from a place of love. right? So if you were to guess, what is your child inside you, his highest intention for saying, hey, you're going to mess up, you're a piece of shit, you're going to fail? What do you think he's really trying to tell you?
Why are you trying to love people? You don't know what love is, and you ain't worth it.
Okay. All right, let's go a little deeper. What else could he be saying?
Don't trust people. They're going to burn you. You don't need anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
You never have.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whenever you've gotten near anybody, it hasn't turned out good for you. But that's the opposite. See, that's the child in me. The addict in me knows that I need this.
Mm-hmm.
The addict in me knows that I need others in my life. I have to allow people around me. I have to trust. I have to, if I can cry for you, I can cry for me. The addict knows all this. So it's almost like the addict is battling the child. And right now the child's got some power. And I don't know if this is his last play before this starts or whatever. I don't know.
Very good. Very good. Very good. I want to use this one. I love this one. Don't trust people. They're going to burn you. What's he trying to do?
Protect me.
Yeah. Yeah. So would it be fair to assume that everything that's coming to your mind right now, the highest intention and the highest purpose is to protect you?
From him, yes. From me, do I got more than one child inside me, maybe?
Here's what you have inside of you, and you don't have an addict inside you. What you have is a mother, a father, and a child. Okay, we're going to use those three archetypes. Okay, because what's inside of all of us is this innate connection of a power greater than us. And the easiest way to represent that is through mother, father, and the child. Okay, so it's not the addict that knows you need this, right? It's probably the mother. So it's probably your mom that's like, hey, Leo, this is just what you need. This is what feeds your soul, helping others, caring for others. This is what feeds your soul. And the child.
I'm going to jump in for a minute there. That relationship has never been good.
No. This is not your physical mother.
Oh, okay.
This is, and Leo, you and I have been working together for a long time now. Okay. So I need you to try and let go of all of the things that have happened to you in this physical realm and connect with your spirituality, connect with your higher power. Okay. Because what's happening right now is as you move into this new opportunity, your higher self is trying to protect you. Here's what it wants to say. Hey, Leo, I know you're nervous. I know this is new. I know that we might make some mistakes or it's not going to be perfect, but we're going to be okay. That's what it wants to tell you. But what's coming out is, hey, what do you think you're doing? Who do you think you are? Okay. You're going to get burned. You're going to mess up. It's using language that you can connect with. And what my intention is to try and connect with new language. I want to see if somewhere in there's a little voice that's too low for you to hear. I'm trying to put a little speakerphone on it, right? And see if you can connect with the protector that lives inside of you. So there's this protector What's this protector really trying to communicate to you right now?
No matter what happens, you're going to be safe. No matter what happens, you're going to be sober. No matter what happens, you're not who you were in the past.
I like that one a lot, Leo. I like that one a lot. No matter what happens, you're no longer that person. That person died, Leo. And I don't think you've effectively grieved for that part of you that's died. And right now, it's the new version of Leo that's really trying to make his presence in the world. And there's so much. Be careful, 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 be careful. And so here, we got a new voice. No matter what happens, you're going to stay sober. No matter what happens, I still love you. No matter what, it's going to be okay. No matter what, you're going to figure it out. No matter what, you can always call Omar. No matter what, you can always join the group and show up and call Tori or Travis. The list goes on and on and on. When I recognize that I'm not alone, physically or spiritually, what feelings does that evoke?
Love, trust, everything positive.
There we go. Love and trust. And let's throw some faith in there. All right.
Absolutely.
So take a deep breath in. Well, let's take 3 of those. Okay. So now, from this place, what is your inner archetypes, your inner guardian angels? What are they telling you now?
A lot. They're saying a lot right now.
Do you know why?
They've been quiet a long time.
Yes. Give me a couple. What are they saying?
You're going to be so good at this.
Oh, now you're fucking me up.
And you're not losing everybody here. They're still there. You won't see them so much, but they're all still there. And I'm going to be all right.
You are going to be so good at this, Leo. You are so good at this, Leo. You are going to be just fine. I'm so proud of you.
Love you all, man. Thank you, Omar. Thanks, everybody. I love you all. You're all going to be with me in my heart no matter what. I don't care what you say.
All right. Leo's ready. All right. Good Lord. Who was the one that said Omar doesn't cry anymore? Was there somebody that said that? It was in another group. Man, they don't make enough of these calls. can feel Leo from over here, like literally, like beaming. I can feel his heart over here. Thank you, Leo. And you're ready. You're ready. You're 100% ready. Okay. All right. All right. I'm trying to compose myself, so I need some people to chime in and give Leo some support, please.
I just want to say, Leo, I'm gonna take one from Craig and say you are a fucking warrior, and I love you, and you're gonna be. This is what you're meant to do, you know, and you're gonna be so good at this. And you know, I'm just a phone call away, text away. I better, you know, I know you're not going to be watching Dr. Phil much probably anymore, but when you do, you're Leo always texts me and says, you got to watch Dr. Phil today. This is who's on here. But I love you, and I can't wait to hear how everything goes. So.
Thank you, Tori. All right, who's next?
I won't miss a chance to give Leo some love. Only because he's given me so much from day one, and I've been in these calls and a lot of meetings with you where you've taken a baseball bat and beaten yourself over the head with it many times because it wasn't working out, and now you've got your chance. That's a beautiful thing, right? You stayed in the ring, you took your punches, you gave your punches, and that's really what recovery has been about, and you've been one of the strongest advocates in this community to show me that, to advocate for myself, and I've done so. And, I'm not going to leave you, you might be more busy at different times and stuff, but we can't do this alone, so just know that if you're feeling lonely and whatever, I'm always here for you, and I've got a lot of love for you, man. You've done so much for me. You really have. You've done a lot for everybody. And I'm really appreciative of you, Leo.
Beautiful. Thanks, Travis. Go ahead, Antoinette, jump in.
Hi, Leo, you know how much I love you. When I first started coming here about 6 months ago, I was down in Tennessee taking care of my stepmother, and I was way out of my league for that. Every recovery thing that I tried different programs for years and years, and it was horrible. And I didn't want to come to online meeting, but I didn't have any other support down there. So I jumped onto the roundtable discussion, Leo, and you were there, and you took a specific interest in me, and you encouraged me to come to a meeting that night. And you even said, Antoinette, come closer, a little closer. I really need you to hear this. And I was blown away. And that's what brought me back that night to the meeting. And I've also been coming back, ever since. Leo, the difference between relentless and rigorous honesty. The one time you were going on about something, and you typed it, then when you were done, you were typing in breathe. I didn't mean to trigger you, but you did, but you didn't. But it was just amazing, and your ability to reach out and connect is a lot stronger than you give yourself credit for. I mean, you just ooze compassion and love, and I know you are going to be so fantastic at this. And even though I won't be seeing it as much, I think about you every day. I thank God for you every day. You're a rock, Leo. You're amazing, and makes me wish I was an older man just getting out of rehab, because I would get the opportunity to work with you. But anyway, I digress. I love you, Leah. You're going to be so amazing. You already are so amazing. Just be you. Let it ooze, let it go. Love you.
Beautiful share, Antoinette. Beautiful share. Who else? So I'm going to take this opportunity to talk a little bit about the child. Okay, because and just the correlation between having that higher self and trying to connect with what facet of your higher self is actually speaking to you, depending on the situation. It could come from the child. It could come from a nurturing mother voice. It can come from a strong father influence, a very supportive father sort of figure. And just remembering that it's not what we would typically identify as male and female roles in the physical. It's more of what the masculine and the feminine represent in spirituality. So with women, it's intuition and compassion and love, and with men, it's stability and strength and support and guidance, right? And the child is play, is love and joy. And in many cases, if we think about how some kids are raised, especially if they have like ADD or they're super active, you know, they get in a lot of trouble. So they get told to, you know, to sit still, or they're grounded, or they get paddled, or they get, you know, homework assignments, you know, all that's coming up from like my childhood. So, you know, there's this sort of like misunderstanding of the child. And so, and I'll just speak from me, being a very hyperactive sort of kid in school, couldn't sit still. I spent most of my time in detention or getting paddled from the dean, you know, poor grades, you know, constant, you know, Omar, if he would just apply himself, he would just pay attention. Omar's a daydreamer. And it was year after year after year after year. So there was a part of, so not understanding me or what was going on with me, I just kind of categorized myself as a dummy, as somebody who's not going to be very successful in life, who's going to just have to, you know, do something, you know, become a plumber, or, you know, fix cars, or become a gardener. You know, my as the years went on, my self-esteem would go lower. Ultimately, what happened and what happens is we reject that part of us. We leave it behind. We become someone else. We become someone that we feel either our mother wants, or our father wants, or society wants, or a religion wants, and we abandon ourselves. And so what happens in many cases is that at some point in our lives, that child tries to make his way through, tries to reconnect with us. And when it happens, a lot of times it happens with parents. Because once you have your own children, especially when you've had a tough childhood, you will overcompensate by giving them so much love and so much attention and so much acknowledgement. You know, it's almost like with Leo with his clients, you know, when they talk about Leo, he has so much love and compassion and tenderness and understanding. But when it comes to Leo, there is none of that. So there is at some point this recognition that deep down inside, there's this little version, there's this child version of us that watches how you treat other people. It watches how you treat your children. And in there, it's saying, why is it that you can be so loving and compassionate and nurturing with your daughter or with your son or with your clients? And why aren't you being that way with me? And that is part of the reparenting process that I invite each and everyone who's listening, that if you've got that negative dialogue in your head, it's you still rejecting and being overcritical of that child. Why would you do that? What's wrong with you? You're going to fail. Why did you do that? Why did you drop that? And in many cases, I'll ask people that I coach, I say, would you ever say that to your own child? And they're like, never. So why would you speak that way to yourself?
And it was you abandoning you a long time ago because that kid, that child was getting into trouble and causing problems, and he wasn't smart enough, and he wasn't good enough, and he wasn't strong enough. And so I became someone else, and I abandoned Omar. And when he comes back with a vengeance, you know. But at some point, when you're able to reconnect, and Leo, you did that today. You heard a different voice. You heard a very different voice. You weren't allowing yourself to hear them. It's not that they were silent. You muted them out. Now you can hear them. So I invite you all to turn down the inner critic and turn up the inner child that's trying to reconnect with you, because they have a lot to say. All right. So who's got questions on that? We still got plenty of time. So who has either some comments or needs some coaching? Let's go.
I think I scared everybody.
I'll go, Omar.
Wonderful.
Jess.
Hi, Jess.
Hi, how are you?
Fabulous. How are
I'm
you?
so glad to be able to jump. I don't usually get to do this meeting with my work stuff, so I'm so glad to be able to come today.
Yes, me too.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. I don't think I acknowledged or understood that whole reparenting thing until, to be honest, I think it was actually one of Tori's writings about it. I believe you did about reparenting. I want to say, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's a thing. But so true. I mean, if I could, I mean, there's so many. Yeah, I just think back to my little Jessica, I guess, or my Jessie, as I guess I was called at the time, in my like long pigtails, and I was really into like acting. I did a lot of local plays and things, and then I tried out for a movie that I didn't get in, and it just, yeah, there was a lot of squashing of like, oh, that'll never happen, why even bother? But I really remember like wanting to like pursue a career in acting, and then I went on years later I majored in sociology in college, and I wanted to help people. That's a little bit similar maybe to Leo. That's my calling, I think, is to help other people. But once I work on myself a little more to help myself, and believe in myself, but I'll get there. But I honestly was, again, you're never going to make any money. We're not going to support you. A social worker, are you kidding? That's the job that ladies do when they've got the wealthy husbands, or, you know, all that kind of crap you talk. Like, it was all about the title, the money, and, you know, that was the number one to success of life. And not like, because people always say, what do you want to do when you grow up? I would love a kid to say, to be happy. Who says that? You know, like, that's like crazy to think that, like, that would be like the most amazing thing, because then truly whoever's guiding them is totally getting it. So I have a now 12-year-old, so I'm really trying my best to instill, you can do anything you want. I mean, she dyed her hair black. I let her, the clothes she wears is something I would never wear, but I'm just trying to let her be her, as long as it's not hurting anybody or herself. And you know, differently than the way I had it, where I had to wear the matching clothes with my mom, these Laura Ashley jumpers, and everything was all perfect. We would get on the plane to go to Florida to visit my grandparents, and we had to dress up, which I think was probably somewhat of a thing back in the 80s. But I just think about it just so different. So I really need to kind of hone in on that and work on that, because I think that's really important. So I appreciate you mentioning, because I haven't really pursued it since I read it. So this brings it full circle that that's a huge issue of mine to work through, to go back and do it right. So thank you.
It's mindfulness, Jess. It's really about taking the information that's been provided at this moment, and then allowing yourself to receive it, to take it in and then integrate it. Okay? It starts to make all these clicks inside of you as you start to think about how you're raising your daughter, how you communicate to your daughter, right? The patience, the love, the tolerance that you have, right? And the only thing missing is to ensure that I'm having the same language, the same feelings, the same guidance, the same dialogue with myself.
That's the $1 million ticket right there that I got to get. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's so true. When we're growing up, our parents, especially in our generation, have this idea of how they want us to be. And so there's so many of us that tried to be what our parents wanted us to be in one way or another, but because it wasn't who we truly are or were meant to be, we failed. And we failed, and we failed. And we start to believe that we are failures, that we are not good enough. What's the point? And so as I say that, what comes up for you?
Oh, it's yeah, 1,000% true. If anything, I do find my daughter instills that more in me. Like, why are you giving, too much time to this person or someone that hurt you? Like, get over it and move on. We don't hang out with mean people. And like, I'm like, how is it so easy for you? For an example of things. Yeah, the inner dialogue. Yeah. I mean, I was just doing it today because I'm starting to pursue some of these dreams and dabbling in what I want to do. And I was driving back from getting coffee before signing on to my insurance I hate. And I'm like, oh, why are you even trying to? You're just going to stick it out on this job the next 20 years because it pays the bills. It's going to afford you a 401k. It's your safety because you do a great job, but it's the safety. I don't want to do that, And then I had to like create in my head, like, okay, these are those past, don't even try because it's not going to happen. So why? And like a self-ridicule, I really do. It's pretty terrible because if someone else came to me and God, yeah. So I've had some people, I have a recovery coach group I'm in, and they've been pushing me more. Like they believe in me more than I do still a little bit with some of this alternative career shopping around kind of thing. I'm like, why can't I get there? Like, let's not, I still get surprised when someone's like, oh, wow, you're so smart. I'm like, what? Like, because growing up, I was kind of that dreamer, and I'll never forget, I had a teacher in high school, and I used to, probably because he wasn't the best teacher maybe, but I used to like look out the window and like imagine my future. I remember being this person, and I used to get yelled at, like, what are you doing? And he used to make fun of me in class, to the whole class, to the point where I had to, like, what's the problem with that? And I became like the embarrassment, like the joke of the class. So I've allowed myself to be the joke of my own class, I guess, or my own head, and just say, well, I'm not worth it. Look at all the crap that's happened, or whatever it is. So yeah, it's got to be there because it's not authentic to pass off onto my daughter if I'm not really truly believing that, and I'm just saying I do. I think that's where I'm bridging that gap. And she's seeing me this last year go to more meetings and self-support, and at first she was like, what is this? Da, da, da. Now she's like, oh, Mom, you got your meeting. Like, this is good for you, you know? So like those little things that she sees me doing to try to make myself whole in that category.
Perfect. Perfect. And
Yeah.
this
So
is
I don't know.
no,
Kinda
this
went
is
off on the tangent
no.
a
This is what
little.
happens. You will go off on a tangent. It's a stream of consciousness. That's all it is. At some point, you get caught in a stream of consciousness
Mhm.
that
Right.
starts to bring up memories, starts to bring up thoughts. It creates clarity for you. What we're doing right now is we're
Mhm.
creating some clarity around this whole topic, because like Leo, your internal guidance system only wants to protect you. It loves you and it only wants to protect you. But if it can only communicate through one voice, it will use whatever voice you listen to. So if you don't listen to the loving, gentle, kind voice, but you will listen to the other voice, the objective is the same, to protect you. So if you are insecure and you doubt yourself, then you won't move forward.
Right. No doubt.
And if you don't move forward, you can't fail. And if you don't fail, then you can't get hurt and disappointed. And so all we're doing right now is honoring that inner voice, is honoring the version of us that's in there trying to protect us and trying to guide us. And when this other voice comes in and goes, hey, you know what? I'm ready to hear the other voice. I'm ready to hear the voice that sounds just like the voice I use when I talk to my daughter, which is, Jess, you can do whatever you want to do. It's going to take time. It's going to take effort. It's going to take hard work. You're going to make mistakes. You're probably going to fail a few times, but eventually you're going to figure it out, and it's going to be okay, because you've always been able to figure it out.
True.
And that's the voice we want to start connecting with, because we all have both voices inside of us. One sometimes is just on mute. Press the unmute button, mute the other one.
Yeah.
Because it's interesting, even as I have this conversation right now, I am trying to think about when was the last time my negative inner critic was so harsh on me. And I'm actually trying to think of a time, I can't remember right now, the last time my inner critic was that harsh. And so what that tells me is that I have managed to bring down the volume on one side and bring up the volume on the other. So I want you guys, as you're watching this, you can even like do it with yourself. Just grab your own hands and just go, okay, I'm going to turn down the volume on the negative. I'm going to turn up the volume on the positive affirmations and the protagonist that resides inside of me. I'm going to try and connect with the loving mother that resides inside of me instead of the wicked stepmother.
It's a good way to put it. Yeah. Or sister, ex-sister-in-law, or whatever. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah. Side joke.
We will adopt whatever voice.
Whatever I need. Yeah.
All right. Was that helpful?
Yeah. So helpful. Thank you, Omar.
Okay.
Right on point with what I needed today. So, as always.
Yeah. Beautiful. See, Leo, just this is what. Okay, so I see Jen. Jen just wrote in here, Jess, I usually only get to listen when I get on for this one. Sometime I will be able to get Omar advice. Well, if you type it in, Jen, right? If you type in what you got going on, that works just fine. I'll let Jen come in, or you could just unmute. Right. All right. So while we wait for Jen or anyone else, does anyone else want to jump in?
Hey guys, I'm gonna go ahead and jump in. I closed my office door for a moment. Hopefully no phones ring or anything. I guess, Omar, I'm just struggling. I'm 9 months, just over 9 months sober. I recently put in for a new position for working with probation and parole, trying to get out of case management at the pre-release right now. And I mean, I put in for probation and parole over the last 16 years, at least a dozen times.
Wow.
I've gotten in interviews almost every single time. One time I was third person in line. I would have picked for it. I would have gotten it. Two people ahead of me weren't before me. I actually, almost 2 years ago, was offered a probation and parole position in another town, but I turned it down for my husband. I have a phone interview for a probation and parole position again in the town I live in. I found out today that 3 of my coworkers also happen to be interviewing for this same exact position. And anybody who knows corrections, and no offense to the guys here, I love you all, but it's a guy's field. Being a female, trying to do this job is a pain in the ass. And I'm just struggling with it. I'm like, I told my coworkers today, I don't know why the fuck I'm even going to do this interview. I'm not going to get anywhere. I'm just, I went to school and got my master's degree to do what I'm doing. I don't need a master's degree to do it. But I'm struggling. I'm like going, what to do? Because I'm ready to say fuck it for this interview, because I know that the 3 guys that are interviewing with me are more well liked by the probation and parole system than I am, because of how they're treated around the center by my bosses and stuff. I'm the bottom of the barrel because, and as I said, guys, no offense, I have boobs and another body part. I don't have a penis. I get treated differently in the field. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be crude.
No. You're fine. You're fine. Go ahead.
But I'm just struggling with it today. I really am after hearing this. I'm like going, what am I going to do? I told my husband recently, I'm ready to give up on the corrections field. I'm tired of being in the bottom of the barrel. I'm tired of looking like I'm not going to get any farther ahead. I've been at my current job for 5 years. I've worked for these guys for a total of 7 years, and I'm not, another position. And I put in for 2 different bosses positions, and neither one did I even, I interviewed for one, but didn't even get considered for the other one. And it's a struggle. I'm like, I'm tired of this. I'm ready to not feel like I have the weight of the world on my shoulders anymore. But yeah, that's just what I'm dealing with over here. Just, I guess, pity partying on myself.
No, this is again, this is a stream of consciousness. So keep going until you run out.
And I don't know. I said, and some days I do. I just want to quit what I do and just go flip burgers. Quit taking on everybody else's issues and problems, because hell, I got enough of them myself.
Okay.
And yeah, that's what it is. It's just a constant mind rotation over here today.
Yep. Yeah. I'm cool with everything. Question. Curious. Why would you want to walk away from everything and flip burgers?
I don't know. That was just a thought process I get once in a while, because I guess I look around and I'm salaried, but averaging it out, I make about $19 an hour if I'm lucky. And and I don't know about where you guys live, but here, most of our burger flippers are starting out at $11-12 an hour. I can go to Hobby Lobby if I was to get hired full time, make $15-16 an hour. I'm like, these guys are making with no, and if anybody doesn't have a degree, please don't take this wrong. I'm making just barely above what people with no degree make. And I've put 8 years into my education as a single parent, working my ass off full time, going to school full time. And there's people with no education making just a few bucks less an hour than I make. And I have to, keep insurance on 5 kids and myself. And and trying to buy a house and pay off our debt and have $100,000 in student loans that keeps getting higher by the day with the interest, because I don't make enough to pay on the student loans. that I got to get where I'm at right now. And it's like, is it worth it anymore? No, I'm not suicidal by saying that. But that's how I feel sometimes. Like, is it worth it to do this life every day and continue doing what I'm doing? I don't even want to get out of bed most mornings. I'm not getting out of bed till 7:15, and I got to leave my house between 7:30 and 7:45 to get to work. And then I sit at my desk, and it's a struggle to do my job. And it just comes because these people keep relapsing. And I know relapse is part of our issues, part of our addiction, and it's who we are. And I'm just trying to find ways every day to reach them and help them, and then do the same thing when I get home with my own girls, raising 2 of my own and 2 stepdaughters that are all hitting teen years, trying to help them navigate our life. And I just don't know what to do anymore.
Okay. All right. This is good. I got enough. All right. So Jen, tell me right now, if you could try to identify as many of the feelings as you can that you feel right now in this moment.
Anger, depression, tiredness, anxiety, the fuck it. Just a lot of, honestly, anger and depression and the fuck it. And I don't know why.
Okay. All right. Is any of it directed at you?
The fuck it's and the anger, yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Fuck it.
Sorry, I don't know how else to put it besides the fuck it's right now. That's the only thing that comes to mind.
That's fine. But here's what I'm noticing too, is that in your tone, I can still sense some compassion. Am I off? Or is
no, I have compassion, and I think that's part of my problem too, is I have this utter compassion to help myself, to help those around me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm extremely codependent. I've been working on it for the last 5 years, and I take on everybody's issues. Yeah, I have compassion for everybody around me, and every time I come to these meetings, if I don't see a face for a while, whenever I get to come on, I take that on and I start getting concerned at what's going on with them.
Okay.
And then I wonder, when I don't come on, are these guys thinking the same thing about me? And it goes a little crazy.
Mm-hmm. You're a rescuer. Correct?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So homework for you is I want you to Google the drama triangle. All right. Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, so are you familiar with it?
Yep, I've heard it on here on the Zoom meeting before.
I want you to go into YouTube, go into Google, do a little bit of searching on the drama triangle. You're a classic rescuer. Okay. In the drama triangle, there's 3 positions. There is the aggressor, the victim, and the rescuer. Do you fit any of the other roles?
I'm not really completely sure on it, but probably the victim a little bit also.
I wasn't going to say it. I'm glad you did. So victim, rescuer. All right. So do a little bit of studying there, but here's what happens. If I have a propensity to be a victim or rescuer, then for me to fulfill my purpose in life, I am going to need people to rescue and people to rescue me. Which is probably why you went into law enforcement in the first place. To save people.
Yep, pretty much.
Okay, which is great. Okay. Great from a from the heart perspective, from a place of love. But the drama triangle is a dysfunctional, codependent relationship with the world. Okay, so now what I want to do is, and I'm so glad Leo started us off. Okay, so at this, from right now, are you feeling a little calmer?
Yeah, a little calmer after getting that off my chest.
Okay, good. So now that we're a little bit calmer, let's see if we can connect with your inner guidance system. Let's see if we can connect with your inner parent. Okay, so I want you to just kind of focus on what's happening, focus on everything that you've just said to me, right? And let's try and connect with your inner parent and let me address the inner parent. So, and you tell me the first thought that comes up. What do they say? Okay, so inner parent for Jen, I'm curious, what suggestion or suggestions do you have for her?
And I know kind of like me, but I just think back, and my parents growing up were more of the do whatever, just do it. You can, there was no real guidance in it. It was just that if we put our mind to it, we could do it.
Okay, I like it. Okay. Just do whatever. Okay. If whatever you put your mind to, you can do it. Okay. That's step one. Okay. So now, great. What should I do?
I think honestly, I need to keep going for it. I can't, if this is what I want my life, this is what I started. Hell, 20 years ago when I went back to college, when I started my bachelor's degree in 2001, this is what I went for, was to do what I'm doing, to get into corrections, to get into probation and parole, to help people in trouble with the law. Originally, it was juveniles, and I still have a heart for the juveniles, but it's to help change people's lives.
Help people
because,
in trouble.
I was, 16, 15, 16, doing drugs, drinking, sleeping around, everything.
Okay.
And I had figured out how to pull my own head out of my ass. I didn't have anybody to help me because everybody around me was doing the same exact thing I was doing.
Okay.
So I want to help kids. I want to help somebody change their life for the better.
Okay. Do you have a daughter?
I have 3 biological daughters and 2 stepdaughters.
How's the oldest?
Yes, Tori. My oldest daughter is 23. She lives in Maryland, Baltimore, Maryland. She works there.
Wonderful. Okay. So I want you to listen very, very closely to me. Okay. Listen closely before you answer. You ready?
Okay.
So I want you to imagine that your daughter comes to you 20 years from now. So 20 years from now, she's going to come to you and she's followed in your footsteps and she went to school and she got a master's degree and she also got married and she's got kids and she's got tons of responsibilities. And she is in this place where she's up against the system. She tries and she tries and she tries. She knows that she's qualified. She knows she's educated. She knows she can do the position, but she's butting up against the social construct, which is the political and also the sex, the sexual aspect of it, not sexual, but the actual sexist sort of politics that go on. And she's like, Mom, I am so frustrated. I'm depressed and I'm angry and I'm frustrated and I'm tired. And this is what I want to do. I want to help people that are in trouble. I want to change people's lives. I want to help juveniles. Like when I was in trouble, when I was a kid, like I want to help. And I'm trying to get to this position. And it's like every single roadblock in my way and I don't know what to do. Mom, what should I do? What do you tell her?
Well, it's kind of crazy because, she didn't go into corrections field, but when she was wanting to leave for college, this was part of what we faced together. So And I would tell her, what I told her, I'll tell her again what I told her then, is that she needs to think about it. She needs to make the best decision for her, and that she can do whatever the hell she puts her mind to.
Mm-hmm.
She is brilliant. She's beautiful. And excuse me, guys. Again, I sorry, guys. I always say this with the men around. Fuck what the guys think. Do it, because she can outdo anybody out there. Because we faced that when she was 17, getting ready to leave for college, go across the country. We faced that because she was scared, leaving mama's nest. But yeah, that's what I tell her. Go for it. Really, but really think about it. Make sure what she wants in life, and go for it and fuck everybody else.
And so what did she end up doing with that advice?
She went to Troy, New York to go to Rensselaer Polytechnical Institute on an almost full ride. She graduated May of last year with her bachelor's degree. Started working for a company in Maryland. I'm crying over this because she did what I didn't have the guts to do at her age. She's doing what I should, what I didn't do at 18. She's doing it now at 23, almost 24 years old, living independent. She lives with a friend of hers in Maryland. And those two young ladies, they're beautiful, beautiful young ladies rocking the world out there. So yeah, she's my, I'm sorry. She's one of my inspirations because she's doing what I didn't do at her age. She's doing what it took me many years to get the brain cells to do. Sorry, I don't mean to cry.
This is so good.
Yes, I'm very proud of my daughter.
You're crying for someone else, though.
I miss her. It's been a year since I've seen my daughter. And I only got to see her for a couple months when they were on COVID lockdown, got sent home. So yeah, I miss my baby girl.
Mm-hmm. You miss someone else too.
I miss who I wasn't at her age.
Yes. I mean, full circle here, Jen. Full circle. We started with Leo. It's the exact same thing. Moved to Jess, and now to you. You abandoned you. You've been trying to compete in a man's world and, rise above and all this crap. And then you instinctively know how to guide your daughter. She's a living, breathing example of what you know what to do. What you're chasing is not for you, or you would already have it. That's how the universe works. If you are constantly coming up against the same wall year after year after year, it's your inner guidance system going, you're moving in the wrong direction. Fuck them. Fuck those guys. Okay. You don't need them. You don't need to put up with that shit. You can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you put your mind to.
Thank you.
What's coming up, Jen?
It's, I need to find me again. I know I do.
Okay. I need to find me again. And I think you need to take this education that you've got, this master's degree, and put it to some really good use, not in the fucking probation department that does not appreciate you. So I'll be your inner parent. They're not appreciating you. You are amazing, Jen. You're smart and you're beautiful, and you have everything you need inside of you to succeed and to be the best. And if they don't appreciate you, then you need to find the people that will.
Thank you.
Any questions?
No, it felt good to talk today and get this out to somebody besides my husband, because he tries to understand, but he's more you'll get it this time, and just doesn't understand the intense feelings of it.
You know, I'm pretty sure everyone on this call has really tried to get something or really tried to do something and it didn't happen. Anybody on this call really, really wanted something, went after it, couldn't get it, right? And then what happened? You found what you were supposed to be doing, right? So we can spend 5 years, 10 years, 20 years fighting our purpose, fighting what we're supposed to be doing, or we could just fucking stop fighting and do what we're supposed to be doing. You have something that you are destined to be doing in this moment. Reconnect with you and let her show you.
Okay.
All right. I love it. Does anyone have anything to add here? I think we're good. And we're at the top of the hour. Jen, thank you for being brave. I pushed you
Thank
a
you,
little bit
Omar.
here.
Yeah. I needed it today. I really did. I needed it.
Well, I could feel it. I could feel it. And I get a sense of what needs to be said. Go ahead, Tori.
No, well, never mind. There was a person that I thought they had their hand up, but Jen, you are all, I love you. And you're a fucking warrior as well. And time to like relearn about yourself. So
Thank you, Tori.
Yes. Sometimes you just need someone to go, come on, Jen, come on. Snap out of it. You got it all in you, right? This is why I ask about your daughter, because I know you know exactly how to guide her, and she is doing exactly what she should be doing. But that's because she has such a great mom.
Yep, she set out many years ago to do what she's doing, and she works in chemical engineering, and she starting to make drugs to help people with like cancer patients and everything else. Something I have no clue about, and she's doing it.
Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. Lots of love out here. Jen, Leo, Jess, thank you so much today for participating. All right, this has been a spectacular session. All right, see you guys next week.